A lot of organizations that are coming together now. In fact, we're kind of getting saturated, and from my point of view, my experience point of view, I think we need to get some kind of umbrella so that we're not duplicating effort and we're not depleting resources that, if we put them all together, would make a big difference. I think that's something we should kind of talk about.
Definitely.
Okay. That was good, caller. And just again, to lean on what you were talking about, with transforming today's youth, the parents have to be involved in the tutoring program. We make sure that that's part of the process for the child to be in. Okay, now, the date again?
The date, the election is November the 6th. But what I'd like to share is that October the 3rd, as part of one of the first debates that's going to happen between President Obama and Governor Romney, we are going to host the Teachie Pinckney Epps for School Board campaign is going to host focus groups at the 8th and Main Conference Center to kind of talk about, what are the different viewpoints of education in this city. And I want to take that information as a school board and make sure that once I get in that seat, that we're setting policies, that we're causing actions that are based on what the people want, not what we sit around in the room and determine is the best education for their children, but based on what individuals come and have an opportunity to put forth what they believe the needs are. Which
is very important. And again, something we need to realize, the school system in the United States hasn't been changed in, what, a couple hundred years?
That is so true. We are working off of an antiquated system.
Right, and it's time to change. I think we need to change the whole education process because, I have a 4-year-old grandson. And he's typical. We all think that ours is special. Yeah. But listening to him talking to some of his buddies, they're little geniuses.
They are that.
These kids, and an iPhone, the kid is 4 years old. He knows how to work this thing better than I do. Yeah. So we need to kind of work on that. Would that be part of your forum?
We do. We have to, again, trying to get the parents involved. We've got to give parents choice about their children's education. Parents need to be at the table. We have different mandates that in order for your child to come to pre-K and elementary, we're kind of demanding that your child have a physical, your child have to have shots. And then as your child matriculates into middle school, those kind of things wane. And by the time they get to high school, we don't have anything other than an academic snapshot of these children. And I think we're doing the children a disservice. They come in whole children. We have to provide them with the whole education. And the first way we do that is to ask the parents, what are your child's needs? So that we can ensure we're pairing them with the right teachers, we're putting them in the right programs, in the right school that has the resources to meet the children's needs.
Now let me ask you a question. This all sounds great, but when we get down to reality, to the school board, to the officialdom and whatnot, is all of this possible?
It is possible. It is possible. And I sit here to tell you that you can hold me accountable to make sure that it's possible. I am committed to these children in this city of Richmond. And that commitment speaks to the fact that we've got to educate all children in all communities.
Oh, yeah. Okay. Hello, caller. Thank you for calling.
Hi, I just wanted to ask a question.
Sure.
It was about a year or two after President Obama became elected. It was a big story about the people who make up the books that the kids, study from. And they were talking about leaving out a lot of information, especially African American information, and anything that was really, tell you the truth, non-white. And I was wondering, did any of that get straight here, because they don't need to be reading books like that?
Good question. And I remember the situation. Maybe you can answer that.
And I have to admit that I'm not fully abreast of exactly where that stands right now.
Okay.
But what I would share with you, though, is that there's a strong push, and I know at least in the comprehensive high school environments, we have teachers who are actually not volunteering their time, but who have studied African American history and are saying, listen, allow me an opportunity to take a classroom full of children and to teach African American history to them. I've found at George Wythe we've had an opportunity to do that over the past couple of years, and it has made a significant difference. Unfortunately, again, we understand that a lot of our children come from low economic statuses. Well, I sit here to tell you that just because allegedly they're poor does not mean they're not intellectually capable.
Oh, no.
And so we've taken a lot of pride in at least teaching them their history. And I believe that the children are beginning to embrace the fact that when you look at this school system, as antiquated as it is and in its current status, it was built on the backs of African Americans.
Oh, yes.
So I think it's important for our children to know that so that they can take some pride into understanding the value of education.
Well, you know, there's just, there's almost a hole, and it's almost a 20-year or double generational hole where there was no education, okay, where it's not cool to go to school, okay? I was talking to some youngsters at the event there, and I mentioned some names, you know, you don't know who he was, and you don't know, and I mean Muhammad Ali. I said, how can you tell me that you don't know who Muhammad Ali is and what he stood for? No idea. So I mean, it's really like he's starting from scratch.
It is.
Okay.